I've got an angry nut on my head.
I've got an angry nut on my head.
This is the way of the dork. Welcome everybody to episode 53 of the Four Dorksmen podcast. And with a flute up his nose, it's me, Angry Nate.
Screw you, Xfinity.
I'm Collector Clint.
I'm very tired today.
And we are four dorks who like to get together and talk about whatever the hell we want. Quick housekeeping things before we get too far into this. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at _dorksman. You can always email us at dorksman@gmail.com. We'll probably get to your email at some point. We've seen some emails, but who knows? Who knows? Also, what else? It's been so long, it feels like, since I've done this. What else we got going on? Oh yeah, play Dorksman Bingo at dorksmanbingo.com. Shout out to Larry for the website redirect, and obviously shout out to Andrew for making it for us.
By the way, I want to real quick time in. I mean, of course, Larry's on the STS guys and the Totally Rad Movie podcast, but Andrew and his brother are starting a podcast now.
Yes, they are.
I don't think they've recorded.
Rewind.
Yeah, I don't think they've started their first episode yet, but I mean, they're on Twitter and they're setting everything up, so I would recommend following them as well.
Yes,
absolutely.
Big supporters of us, so we are big supporters of them.
Just don't have shitty content, guys. Come on.
Don't call them out on it yet, dude.
Hey, it's better they hear it now than it's like 10 episodes in and be like, come on, guys. They better know now.
It's a preemptive.
Right. I got a whole bag. Anyway, go on.
All you'll do is talk about silly putty and slinkies every episode. Come on.
That's it.
Get something different on.
Yeah.
I might actually listen to multiple episodes of that, to be honest, because I like those things.
Spinning tops, some Bazooka Joe comics, things like that. But that's
how was that a bingo score?
That was an accident. I'm sorry. Shout out to that podcast. There you go.
Alex, I swear to God, this bell that you got, Clint, is going to be the fucking end of me. And I know you're listening.
But Alex, DeLorean Wolfgang, I want you to know that Nate really appreciated it about 5 minutes ago. So.
I did.
Yeah, when he was dropping meat nuts with it when I was trying to talk.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that
and the episode's over now.
Is that considered Clint singing when he's
beatboxing? No, he's beatboxing. That's a completely different square in itself. And Andrew, please don't put that as a square. I don't want him to do that again.
Clint performs the act against humanity, which could be singing, which could be wearing his tiara, which could be just
beatboxing, showing his full face out in public. All that stuff gets checked
Clinticles dangling on the screen right now.
So let's keep going.
Yeah, anyways, as always, we like to kick the show off with some Ask the Dorksman questions. We love getting your questions. We always have a backlog. We always love to see what you guys have in store for us. So we've got a couple of fun ones this week. Our first one is from Kelly. Shout out to Kelly, AOK20 on Twitter. Real quick shout out for her. She designed some amazing SDCC stickers. That's going to be part of the prize pack for the first ever Dorksman Trivia Extravaganza, in which Lord Scott, shout out Lord Scott on the STS guys, he won the other night. So if you haven't watched that, please do. It's on our Twitch replays. It's amazing.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, but we'll get to all that. But Kelly's question was, have you started cooking at home more during quarantine, and do you think it will continue after restaurants start to open back up?
What constitutes cooking? Does making ramen constitute cooking when it's in the Keurig? Does popping a Tostino's pizza in the oven, a healthy choice steamable, defrosting some Uncrustables? Because that's the extent of my cooking skills, right?
I don't define that as cooking. To me, cooking would be that you actually actively prepare something. So I know that. To your point, though, Joey, if you had ramen and you made something to go along with it, like
nope.
I would think that's
boiled water. That's what I add to that.
That's not cooking.
Boiled water.
If you made spam and eggs with it, which is something we do out here in Hawaii, then yes, I would call that cooking. But just boiling ramen and eating that by itself, I don't constitute that as cooking.
What's the thing called with spam and egg? What's that name?
What do you mean?
Is there a name for it? What's it called? Like when you make that, what is it called?
Spam, eggs, and rice.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it had like a fun Hawaiian slang term.
No,
okay.
There's nothing.
So here's the deal. For the question that Kelly asked, you would actually, I think, prior to quarantine, had to have been going out a lot to eat, and that was never like a big thing. I mean, we maybe go out to eat maybe once during the week, something like that, especially when school's on. I mean, we're eating lunch at school, we're eating dinner when we get home. The only thing that ramped that up at all would be like, you know, on a game night or something, if I need to go pick up dinner after dropping off the bus, or if we ate with the team, or, you know, something like that. But other than that, we never really went out and ate a lot. So I don't think it changed my cooking any. I don't think the total end of quarantine would change that either. So kind of boring answer, I guess, but that's where I'm at.
Or maybe to Kelly's point, maybe as opposed to just warming up or taking something out of the freezer like pizza or like a chicken bake from Costco and you eat that, maybe if you actually cook something as opposed to just heating up a TV dinner, right? Because I know a lot of people
catch my cooking skills.
I know, I heard you. I'm just saying maybe that's what she meant, because I don't know. We can't ask her right now.
My wife said she's going to put me on that Worst Cooks in America show or whatever.
Oh, please do.
Please, dude. I'd watch that, or get you on Nailed It or something. Just I'd watch that.
I would absolutely watch that.
Oh man, nailed it.
Well, what about you?
You, Princess Clint?
They're calling me Princess because Ava has insisted I wear a tiara, so I'm keeping it in my hair.
Insisted in quotation marks.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I don't do a lot of cooking myself either, but to go along with that, my wife does, and she actually does a really good job. She keeps us healthy and keeps variety and keeps it good. And she's changed up and brought in some new recipes during quarantine. So shout out to my wife for doing that, because I get the benefit. But as for going out more, yes, absolutely. I mean, especially with our 3-year-old, we're not in any rush to go back out to restaurants at all. We've been doing pickup. We usually do pickup once or twice a week. I don't know why we don't do delivery, but we pick up. I don't, just avoid one more person touching it, I guess. But it's worked out well, and I see it continuing in the future because it just works out so well, especially with our little one. I think if she was older, we might be thinking it differently. But I would actually like to do more cooking, but my wife does it, and my wife is actually gluten-free and dairy-free. So, you know, yeah. So like, you know, when we order pizza, I ask for extra cheese and extra crust because you know, I don't get those at home. So I have to go, you know, but like I said, she does a great job and gives us some awesome alternatives. So I can't complain in any sense, but she has increased and done better, and it's not going to change her going. Oh, we've changed our going out to eat because we don't go out anymore now. And I think that's going to stick around for a while, even when quarantine, quote unquote, is over. Mm-hmm. How about you, Ryan?
I don't do a lot of the cooking at home. Michi enjoys being in the kitchen, so the deal typically is she cooks and I clean. So if she cooks whatever it might be, whether it be spaghetti or something really fancy, she doesn't like to clean up the dishes. I don't mind doing it because I get to reap the benefits of her cooking, and she enjoys going on Pinterest, looking at new recipes, trying new things. I'll be honest, not every time it's turned out like awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's still edible, but I guess it's hard to, especially if you use like a pressure cooker, which we have one. Mm-hmm. It becomes very difficult to gauge how it's going to turn out, especially if you've never done the recipe before and you're kind of just eyeballing it from somebody else's suggestion off Pinterest. Sure. All that said, she does get very adventurous. I'm not super adventurous with food, and she knows that. So we kind of stick to everything that we're going for. But yes, I have cooked a little bit more during the pandemic because I'm still stuck here working at home. She's since gone back to the store, and she's working 3 days a week now at the actual storefront location. So I try to prep dinner whenever I can.
Well, we were doing something the other night and you went and made dinner, right? How'd that turn out?
I just fried pork chops and stir-fried some vegetables. It wasn't anything like super fancy, but I mean, it was.
That's more than I can pull off, sir.
Yeah, that's more than putting pizza pops in the oven.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. I want some of those pork chops.
Yeah,
you're a regular Gordon Ramsay compared to me.
It was. I don't think we did anything fancy. It was just salt, pepper, garlic, salt, and the vegetables. What did I do? Mushrooms, onions.
Damn, that's
you have to.
That's a step up from Joey.
Anytime you're frying something, you have to season it. Otherwise, it's going to taste like a board. But anyway, what about you?
Burger ketchup is not seasoning, all right? Come
on. No. I put seasoning on everything. I've got 2 different ones from around here. One's called Slap Ya Mama, That's a good one. That replaced Tony Chachere's, which I used to have all the time. And then my mom found one down further south Louisiana that she brought up for me one time. It's called Rudat instead of Houdat. So Roux is like I'm trying to think how to describe it. It's kind of like a starter for something that you would make. Like if you were making a gumbo, you'd start with roux. Anyway, and it's pretty good too. So no, I don't just put spicy ketchup on stuff, brother.
Isn't it a roux? Isn't it butter and flour? And something
yeah,
else,
basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
See,
That's...
Gordon Ramsay over here.
Yeah, he already knew. He's like, oh man,
he knows what's up.
I watch cooking shows.
So now you're gonna have to be Asian Gordon Ramsay. So you're gonna have a short temper.
New Halloween costume.
There you go.
Asian.
Does that mean
RDJ
I get to tell
Ramsay.
everybody to fuck off?
That's right.
You can. No one's stopping you right now.
Call everybody an idiot sandwich.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There you go.
Call everybody a wanker.
For me, my wife does pretty much all the cooking other than like barbecuing. Like I just got a new barbecue. My wife just got it for me. So if it's barbecuing, yes, we've been barbecuing at home. But on regular meals, my wife does all the cooking. So it's good. She's always done it. We've kind of always. We do usually do takeout on the weekends. We do get the delivery on weekends usually. But I think once restaurants open, I still think it's going to be a while before I comfortably sit in a restaurant where I feel like it's worth the risk to go and eat at a restaurant. There's nothing that screams to me I need to risk it all to eat at a certain place during this time. So for me, it's going to be a long time.
This goes along with our movie theater discussion a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
The movie theater weirds me out more than eating out because we've ate out twice so far within the pandemic. Mm-hmm. It was my buddy's birthday last week, so we went out to dinner with him. It was weird, but it was also very nice to be able to sit and be with him on his birthday,
Sure.
Yeah, I think with the restaurants, it's much easier to physically distance. Like you can see there is 6 feet away from you from the next table. You can see the waiters, waitresses sanitizing their hands, wearing masks, taking the proper precautions. Whereas in a theater, it's dark. People are stumbling around. You're in a room. Like you're technically just, and you're really close to each other. So I can totally get that.
Well, going back to the movie Outbreak, you remember that scene in the movie theater where the guy is like, I need water, and you see him cough, and they have that graphic of it just going all over the place. I'm just like, it grosses me out so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it really does. Thanks, Ryan. Now I can't get that out of my head. Anyways, Kelly, we'd love to hear your answer as well. I know it's kind of tough for you sometimes with your kids, but we'd love to hear what your plans are when restaurants are opening up as well. Jessica has a question for us today. I forget what her Twitter's Baby Light, I believe, is her Twitter.
Or is it Essica?
I see her on Twitter all the time, but I honestly can't remember.
Yeah, I think that one's us. I think it's Instagram. That's
Baby Light.
Instagram is Baby Light.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's Baby Light 83. Yep.
Perfect. Jessica asks, what's one chore that you dislike? And you can't say all of them because, yes, they all suck, but what's one that you dislike more than the others?
Why can't I say all of them?
Because it's all of them. Nobody likes chores.
But there's some, I mean, it's like pizza. Like there's pizza and then there's good pizza. Well, chores, there's bad and then there's worse. So what's something you hate?
There's worse.
True. Yeah, there are some that are, like, technically taking out the trash every night is a chore. That's not so bad. You just gotta...
Every night? Jesus.
Well, how much
maybe in some houses. I was trying to.
Ours goes out every day.
Really? Well, you do a 4 bien.
I'd probably say dishes. Now that brings me back to what Ryan said about how he doesn't mind his wife cooks and he cleans. Mm-hmm. See, that's why I've got kids. My wife cooks, the kids clean. Because that is my least favorite of all chores, to be perfectly honest with you. So I didn't think about that at first because I've just opted out of it pretty much completely. As long as some of the kids are home, nope. They need to go ahead and do the dishes.
Well, full disclosure from me too. Part of the reason why I don't mind cleaning and doing the dishes is because I'm particular in the way that I want it done. And I picked that up from my mom because my mom's like OCD clean freak and stuff. So when Michi and I first got together and I saw the way she was doing dishes, it kind of like drove my OCD wild.
Threw you off.
And so I'm like, no, honey, I'll do the dishes. So
that's why I do the clothes. That's why I do all the laundry.
Oh, there you
go. I'm very
like
particular about my clothes too. I mean, granted, I've gotten very lax with my laundry. I used to dry clean all of my pants for work. I had to press and iron all of my shirts for work. But now once I do go back to the office, it'll probably just be jeans and like polo shirts.
And now I don't even wear pants for work. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for the visual, Clint.
I'll give my answer. It's dishes, but not for the reason you think. I actually don't mind because my wife, like I said, does a great job cooking, and that's our agreement too. You do cooking, I'll do dishes. The problem is when to do them, and I say that because our kitchen and our living room are very close to each other, and like right after dinner, Ava likes to watch TV. It drove me nuts growing up because we had the same thing in my house growing up. When I was trying to like play video games, watch TV, whatever, and my parents would do the dishes and you couldn't hear shit because the water was running. So I don't want to do it then. But then I don't want to do it, afterwards, because then we go up, we do routine, get her to sleep, and then I don't want to do the dishes because I don't want to wake her up. So my issue for the dishes is finding the exact sweet spot to get them done. That's why that's the chore that drives me the most nuts.
Fair. That's a fair answer.
That's the only reason though. Otherwise, it's fine. Like it's a chore. They're not great, but they gotta get done, kind of thing. I even don't mind mowing the lawn or picking up the dog poop or taking out the trash, but that just don't want to inconvenience everybody, and it drives me nuts. There's just this little itty bitty sweet spot. And by the way, I usually miss it and have to do it like first thing in the morning. But anyway, Ryan, what's your answer?
Mine would be cleaning the tub or the shower.
Ooh, yeah,
that's a good response.
That's gotta be the most time consuming and the most hard work, because cleaning the toilet and cleaning the sink is easy. It takes a few minutes to clean the sink if you're doing it regularly, but cleaning the shower, F me.
Gotta scrub.
That sucks, yes. And you're using a lot of elbow grease too. So I would say yes, cleaning the shower. Never fun. Okay. Plus you're in the bathroom smelling all that bleach the whole time.
Yeah.
Come out with a headache. Well, maybe that's just me, but
No, I'm with you. Most bathrooms don't have a whole lot of windows, so we can't open them, Yep.
Nate?
Anyway, what about you, Nate?
Folding the laundry. I hate folding the laundry. I don't know why. It's just one of those things.
So you would rather clean the shower, clean the tub than fold laundry?
Yeah, because I can kind of half-ass that, and nobody sees.
You can half-ass your laundry.
Kind of, I guess.
Have you met a teenager?
Yeah, really, right?
That's true. But yeah, no. For me, it would definitely be laundry. Like laundry is just one of those things.
Wait, I mean, I don't. This isn't the discussion, but if you ever have kids, wait until you get those little itty bitty clothes and have to fold those and put those away. Especially when everybody and their mom literally gives you some.
Well, that's why we have Banner. He doesn't wear clothes, so we don't have to wash anything.
Tell that to my wife, because whenever we bring her dog over, who lives with her mom, he's always got to be wearing a shirt. And it's odd because he actually does look kind of naked when he's not wearing a shirt. It's that's like amazing. Donald Duck. Donald Duck doesn't wear pants, but he looks really naked for whatever reason when he's not wearing a shirt. So yes,
right.
Try folding all that, and he's a small little 8-pound Chihuahua, mind you. Okay, so there you go.
I love when dogs don't have their collars on and they look naked after that, like that 1/2 inch to inch thick collar around their neck. You take it off and you're like, oh, you're naked. You lost your clothes, and it's just a collar. Yay, dogs!
That's amazing. That's great.
Okay,
but Jessica, we'd also like to know what your biggest peeve is as far as chores. I'm curious.
I'd like to know what Ed's is too.
Yeah,
your husband's.
That goes for the both of you.
Love to hear both of that.
Please let us know.
So as always, we love the Ask the Dorksman questions. So please feel free to send more. Use the hashtag Ask the Dorksman on Twitter. Feel free to drop a comment in SoundCloud. Feel free to email us Ask the Dorksman questions, whatever you're most comfortable with. But we'll always add it to the queue, and we'll always try to answer it as best we can. So that moves us on to our actual topic for today, which is, as Ryan has been exhausted over helping run behind the scenes. I know Clint's been on a lot of panels, running a lot of stuff. Joey and I have been on. We've been hosting games. We've been doing just a little bit of everything as part of the Nerds Unite Con in place of San Diego Comic-Con virtually that we did this past week with a bunch of other amazing podcasts. Honestly cannot remember every single podcast or person that was involved with this. So I'm
Ryan
gonna
has
forget
a list
somebody
sitting around somewhere.
I
that
do.
He
I don't know
can
if it's
off.
on my desk here. I can probably do it from memory now.
Yeah,
So,
please, Ryan, if you
shouts
could
out
remember
very
everybody,
much
shout them
to
all out.
Secondary Heroes, Geek Together, STS Guys, Average Nerd Podcast, Nerdy Curious, Talking Pops, and what is Pablo's?
There's another nerdy one.
Portraits. There you go.
There you go.
Those were all the teams involved, and yes, it was a very, very swift kick group effort. We planned everything and executed it within a month. So rather, hats off to all the teams that were involved because we couldn't have done it without everybody together.
It's true. Yeah, it was just such a crazy busy week. There was honestly a little bit of something for everybody. We had Funko drops, we had giveaways in the Twitch channels, we had Artists Alley on the Secondary Heroes panels, we did the Dorksman trivia with all the past guests. We even had Toddland on, which was, I know, was massive for a couple of us, or a few of us that have been really big fans of his for a very long time.
Yeah.
So what are some highlights from you guys over the week that you want to share as you all kind of start realizing that you're super tired from a week's worth of nonstop activities?
It's probably a tie for me between two of the ones you already mentioned. It was either the Todd Land interview, which I felt like we could have probably just talked to him for 3 hours, and probably just at the end when one of us had to go to bed eventually, because it just went really well. He's a great interview. He's got a lot of information. He shares a lot of our same passions. So I think that went really well. And my other favorite, just, I'm kind of biased, but the 40 trivia championship Sunday night was I don't remember if it was Gary or Josh or maybe both of them said that we couldn't have scripted it better.
It was Gary,
yeah, and I 100% agree with that. I mean, it just went well the way they played the board, the four of them strategizing, what they picked, what they were trying to avoid, and for it to literally come down to like the last couple of squares to determine whether Josh got into the finals or not was just stupendous. I just enjoyed every moment of it. So that's probably my two favorites: the Todd Lane interview and then the trivia championship.
Nice. I was busy. I was everywhere. Like they said, I enjoyed. I was with the Totally Rad Movie Podcast talking Ninja Turtles. I was with Damien and crew on Geek Together for so many different panels. I was with us doing our stuff. I mean, that's just saying that doesn't sound like nearly as much as it actually was. But what the highlight was for me is how well everything went, despite the fact that we had a month to pull it together and everything went well. And to tell you guys a little bit about some of the stuff that happened. So I like the Chalice interview with Geek Together was a lot of fun, and it was fun because there was no topic, there was no anything, and you know what we ended up talking about? We ended up talking about getting Sully's collection, putting it on display in their warehouse, and then charging Sully to store it, and then charging other people to come take a picture with it for their Instagram account to make it look like they have a badass collection. That wasn't ever the intention of that, but that's where it went, So, and I mean, like always talking to Reese and talking to Ming were always fun and stuff like that. So, unfortunately, I didn't, it was so busy when I wasn't on. I was, getting something to eat, using the bathroom, seeing my family, whatever the case was. So there were a number of panels I missed that I really want to go back and rewatch. Luckily, all the podcasts that Ryan mentioned have theirs available on their Twitch channel to rewatch, and I need to go back and do that. I actually wanted to today. Instead, I ended up listening to some old SDS guys because I need to catch up to that. But how well all put it went together is my favorite part. Let me give you one more example. The very last panel of the whole Nerdy Night Con was on my video game panel, and it went to shit on Sunday. And when I say that, I mean that we had it set. One of the guys bailed, like completely forgetting he had other things that night. I mean, shit happens because it's family.
Was it Nate? Did Nate bail on you?
It wasn't Nate, no.
Nate, you didn't bail on him?
I would have if I had the opportunity to.
You would have. I know that. That's all right. But then the other people I told the wrong time to. So I was screwed with two other people, myself, and then we got our fourth in there. And, shout out to my buddy Ben, who got Uncle Pete on, who just tore it up once he was on there, the senior vice president over at Bethesda Games. Just the panel went just super well, and you didn't know that the whole day. I mean, I'm stressing out about it. I have no idea what we're gonna do. There's an empty blank spot on the calendar. Blah blah blah. It all worked out just fine. So I'm really impressed, and that was my favorite part, is just that it actually worked. I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Nate, do you know that guy from when you worked at EA or from your current company you work at?
No, unfortunately, no.
What was badass about him? He comes on. He's wearing a Foo Fighter shirt, so I knew right away we were going to get along just fine.
That's like me meeting somebody and they've got that Bruce Lee shirt that Robert Downey Jr. was wearing in the Avengers. But
is that the one where he's at the turntable?
Yeah. I have that exact shirt. I bought it at Comic-Con in 2017 or 2018. It's made by a company called Broken Arrow, but it's the exact same shirt that he wore in the movie. Did you want to add anything else, Clint?
No, again, just a shout out to everyone who put some time into it. And I mean, people like the Secondary Heroes moved their panel to help out and make sure we didn't have a blank spot there. And like I said, Ben got some help with us. And I mean, people worked together, and it was nice. And it was, like I said, I still can't believe how well it worked out. I'm not surprised it worked. I'm surprised it worked out well, I guess you could say.
Now I want to know who canceled on you, just so we can shame them.
Well, I like them.
You talk about the cancellations, and I think that was the other thing that was impressive, was that with all the panels going on, all those different podcasts, there was only a handful of guests that were not part of the network that had to end up canceling. And I think that's pretty impressive too.
Yep.
I know there's the one Clint's talking about. I think Secondary Heroes had an issue with one of their guests came up maybe. And that's the only two that I've heard of.
Well, and then there was some scheduling stuff too. People thought it was different days, or all of a sudden weren't available, and people adjusted their schedule. That's why we tried to publish the schedule like just the night before, because shit like that was happening. Yep. I mean, and it's inevitable. Everyone's busy. It's, I know we're in COVID right now, but amazingly, everyone we talked to was busy. Yeah,
people still have lives and things they want to do outside of sitting around at home all the time, being reminded that we're stuck at home.
But I mean, huge shout out to people for jumping in, either filling in spots, moving spots, getting new spots, whatever the case was. It was much more chaotic. I think I mentioned this in the wrap up last night. The Twitter chat's pretty funny if you go back and look at it, because there's some people like, oh my God, this happened kind of thing. And you wouldn't have known it otherwise.
Yep.
What about you, Ryan? What was your favorite part?
Well, to add to what Clint was saying before I go on and talk about my favorite part, much to my misfortune, I guess you would call it, right in the middle of all of this planning stuff, we found out here in Hawaii, anybody that's not aware of it, that we had a hurricane coming, and it looked like it was going to plow right through the island of Oahu. And of course, my anxiety kicked in, and I started worrying about stuff, being a worry wart, because I'm like that. Thankfully, nothing happened. The entire state was spared and all of that. But the combination of lack of sleep from the Nerds Unite Con and my anxiety running high on Saturday and Sunday, hence the reason why I said I'm tired, very tired today. But
I can understand that.
Yeah, going back to my going back to the good parts, I want to echo what Clint said about the awesome teamwork that we had across the network. Of course, a bunch of us are friends, and we already coexist with one another, and we cross-platform, etc., like that. But really, shouts out to the ladies at Nerdy Curious, because I had not known them before. They were able to add a lot of good content to the overall program. To Pablo, who's got the podcast nerds, nerd portraits rather. They were all able to work themselves in really well to the overall group goal, and it was really nice to see how we've extended the network now. Because I had not known these people prior to last week, and now I look forward to hopefully seeing them next year at SDCC, where we can hopefully all get together at maybe even like Corgi's annual party and hang out together over a meal or maybe a drink if they drink alcohol, just to enjoy the fellowship with one another in person, now that we actually have seen each other. I don't know if you would really call it quote unquote face to face, but it's a beautiful thing that friends and the whole network just expands.
And shout out to Corgi. We didn't mention him earlier. He doesn't have his own podcast thing, but he is definitely a veteran con goer and just a generous person with his loot droppings that he does, his Corgi droppings. And he continued that tradition this year as well, and did some of that through our streams and whatnot that were going on. He helped out a couple of different groups and gave stuff away on their behalf. So shout out to him too for everything that he not only did this year, but that he does throughout the year and definitely throughout con season. Yeah.
Yep.
He
shared how many of those he did during this last night during the wrap up. Do you guys have any guesses how many it was?
I think it was 30 something.
Wasn't it
41?
41. Okay.
41 different giveaways.
I mean, he must have added some. At one point, he said he had like 35-ish boxes ready to go or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, I guess he's decided to add more.
41. I mean, I can't imagine the effort. That's amazing.
He does it because it's like he just loves being part of it and he loves doing it, right? Like, he doesn't do it for any recognition. He doesn't do it.
He actually doesn't want the recognition. He just wants to. He wants to spread love in the world. I
mean, it's shout out to him for sure.
The other shout out I want to give is a big, huge shout out and thank you to all of our friends and our new friends and possibly new fans that we may have gained through all of this effort here. But we did this for you guys. You know, we all realized that we weren't able to go to Comic-Con this year. We weren't able to go to Fun Days. We weren't able to get together with the friends. So we tried to pivot and just do the best we could as a substitute. And I think, you know, to echo again what Clint said, I think it went really well. We didn't know how this was going to turn out. We didn't really have a lot of time to plan it. But to quote Damien from Geek Together, coming from a ragtag bunch of nerds, I think we did a hell of a kick-ass job. So really, hats off to everybody.
Or tiaras.
Tiaras.
No, take that off.
It's not even count as head work because Joey's not even wearing a hat today. So you couldn't even you didn't even get a bingo square.
You know, Clint, it would be different if it matched your eyes, but it just doesn't do anything for you.
No, it doesn't. You're right.
Yeah, you should just take it off.
You know what, though? It warms my heart because it came from my daughter. So,
okay, fair enough. I'm going to shut up about that now. There's nothing else I can say back that's snarky that's going to be worth it. So you win.
What about Nate? I don't think we've heard from Nate what his favorite part was.
I don't think we have
either. For me, I think it had to have been the Totland interview. Just because it was one of those things where I love sitting down and talking with someone and just hearing them talk about just what they do and just, you know, like something as popular and something that I love as much as the shows that he makes merch for. Is just if you just go back and listen to the interview, you can really tell just how passionate he is about what he does.
Yes.
And he doesn't do it because he wants to be famous. He doesn't do it because you know, he's out there trying to become a millionaire and make a ton of money and whatever. He does it because he fucking loves cartoons and he loves drawing and he loves people. He loves to share those shows and his interpretation of that stuff with the fans.
Yeah.
And it was really awesome to see. Like, he posted a bunch of pictures of the booth from last year, like things like that. And it's just like, just stuff that I wish that we could have been a part of this year, but in a way it kind of worked out that we couldn't be a part of that this year because we would have never had a chance to sit down and talk to him. And we would have never had a chance to invite him back to have a proper podcast episode with him.
Right.
And without that, we wouldn't have never had the chance where I could slip into his DMs and be like, hey, we'd love to volunteer and work at your Toddlerland booth next year.
Friday night.
He said he's probably going to take us up on that. So, you know, things like that are just like, kind of goes to show just because we can't all physically be there, there's opportunities and there's opportunities for us to,
that's a good point.
Well,
you know, to do things that we never would have had the chance to do previously and just making the most of it. And I feel like, you know, thankfully the 4D guys were able to be a part of this and, you know, we're thankful for that for sure. And I think we definitely came together and made the best out of potentially a really, really shitty situation with not being able to see each other. So
right.
You know,
that's a great point. I didn't think of it that way. I mean,
totally agree.
To be honest, I hope we never do this again. Not because it was hard, not because it wasn't fun, because I want to go to the cons. I want to see you guys, you know.
Yep.
Exactly. But if that's not the case, I think this was a fabulous alternative for, I mean, at least our good friends that, you know, come on and hang out and chat anyway. But I think Ryan's right. One of the things I liked was seeing that number and everybody's chat start out at a number and go up. And every time they came back on, even when there were split panels, that number started at a higher number and went up. So I mean, there were very few that went down. We had one that went down, but that's because we got a silly rate of like 200 people, and they all weren't going to stick around for this. So
yeah,
it's hard to be upset about that. But it was still a lot of fun, and I really hope anybody who became a fan and is listening now still listens, still hangs out. We hope, ask the Dorksman. We want to interact with you. We want to have you come join us for pre-parties and game streams and everything else, because we're a community, and I hope we shared that and made that blatantly obvious this past week.
Well said.
Exactly.
And to kind of add on a little bit to what Clint was saying here, for anybody that's new that may have found us as a result of the giveaway of the Switch, keeping in mind, like Clint mentioned, we do game streams as well on Twitch. So typically either Tuesday or Wednesday, that'll be with Clint. Well, I should say this is our typical weekly schedule, not anything ad hoc yet. But Tuesdays or Wednesdays, Clint will typically do some retro gaming, sometimes with Sully. Joey and Nate have jumped in here and there to play any number of games that they do. And then on Fridays, our typical thing is we do Jackbox for a few hours, and then we kick the party back to Sully. But keep in mind that if you would like to engage in any of that stuff, it's a community. We would love to have you join us. Please come in and join. Obviously, a lot of you have followed us on Twitch now, so make sure the notifications are on. You already know the days, times for those. Tuesday, Wednesday, what time is it typically for you, Clint? Like 7 p.m. Pacific?
Yes, that'd be right.
Okay. And for Fridays, we kick off 7 p.m. Pacific. We typically go to about 9 or 9:30. Please come in and join. It's a great time.
I will add on to that something, and now I completely spaced what I was going to say.
I'm eating tired, the brownies, guys. Clint. Stop eating the brownies.
I know. This is
the TR's too tight today.
Maybe
that's enough circulation.
But this is actually this is gone. I was up and moving and busy the whole day, all day. I'm tired. Yeah. I'm worried I'm gonna get con crud because I'm still doing con stuff.
Yeah. By the way, I made a drug joke. You need to ring the bell.
Oh,
there you go.
Exactly. Good point.
Slow.
We did. Yeah. No, it's fair.
Yeah.
I was forgetting where we were. Anyway,
it'll come back to you.
It will. Oh, I know what it was. I'm mad at Funko, and I'm mad at Funko because they moved their shit. We didn't get to play our game night this Friday, so I'm looking even more forward.
About something else.
We'll get there. I know that.
I thought he was going to go down there with the drop and everything. Where that?
Well, maybe that's a good transition.
That's a good transition.
Just drops in general, and what we did last week, what we missed out on, maybe some regrets of stuff that we got that were impulse buys, things of that nature.
Well, one good thing about having not gone to the con this year is I actually barely spent any money. Partially because of that, I don't want to call it a shit show drop. And by the way, I do want to say that this is in no way Funko's fault. For anybody that's not aware, they outsourced that part to a third party in hopes that they could help them with the bots and all of that, and it totally backfired on them. But just know that they are trying.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I
won't say they're resolved of any responsibility, but I will give them they're trying.
They're not resolved. I mean, yeah, they're not entirely not at fault here, but the fact that they realize that us as a company, we're not specialized in e-commerce. We're going to try and tap a company that can help us with that aspect, and it just went backwards. But
I think for once they finally realized that they dropped the ball, they screwed up, because we have complained for years before I even got into collecting about their online shopping experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's had its ebbs and flows, and a lot of that depends on the limited edition of whatever it is that's dropping. But as far as I've seen, we've never had the CEO drop a video, even if it's just a little 45-second clip that apologized. So they know they messed up. They know some of that's on them. And I think Brian even used that wording. I mean, he did say that they were using a third party to process the financial transaction part of it. But I understand some of that's on them too. I mean, they knew they had this big thing coming up, and I've been on the testing side of things, and I'm sure Ryan has been before too. And when you're testing a new system, and you try to find every bug in it you can, it doesn't matter how many people are testing it, whatever, it's never the same thing as rolling it out into the real world. And Nate, I'm sure, has had the same experience with video games. Video games have bugs in them too, just like, computer, customer service systems, which is where my experience is with it. So to a certain extent, I understand it's not you, the company, their stress test maybe only took it so far or whatever. But I like the fact that they came out and said it because it was very frustrating, you know, and it was frustrating that there was not a lot of communication during what was going on, you know, and there's still the question, oh, well, if you would have refreshed, would that have helped? And some people said that it did. And you just never know. You know,
Right.
We experienced that same issue 2 weeks before with the Dwight with Unicorn drop. And it was basically the same thing. It was having a problem calculating the shipping rates and all that stuff. I tried on 4 different devices. One device got through with the Michelangelo SDCC pop. And so I wanted that for sure. And that was a Funko Shop drop. It wasn't shared. So I definitely needed that one. Well, then on my Chromebook, he was in that order. And when it finally went through, it said the only thing I could buy was Stan Lee, which it said Stan Lee wasn't available, which was in the cart on the Michelangelo thing, which went through before the Chromebook did. So I was quite confused. But
so did you get them both?
So I ended up with Michelangelo from the Funko Shop. I said, I'm not going to pay, which would end up being like $23, you know, for Stan Lee to ship separately. So I said, I'll just try to get it later. Well, long story short, I ended up buying one off of Asian Joey at cost plus shipping. Ended up costing more if I would have just taken it on Funko Shop. I ended up spending $1 or $2 more, but definitely shout out to him for helping me hook that up. And the only other one that I really wanted was the Recyclops. So I was kind of upset about not getting a chance to get the con sticker for that one. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, you know, it's a shot in the dark in the first place.
Right.
But I ended up going through at Walmart through their app to get it. And so I don't know if y'all know if y'all bought anything from the Walmart app, but a lot of places are like this. You know, it's got, you know, the quantity thing. So I was going to get 2, you know, because I knew somebody else would end up wanting one. And with Walmart, you never know what they're shipping. So better odds for me. So I just spun that sucker and ended up, I think I'm getting 5. We'll see what they end up shipping to me. But I'm hoping at least with 5, that means maybe one of them will have good box condition. And a friend of ours, Ed Butt Wasted, I think wants one because he missed out on that one.
I wouldn't be shocked if Fernando missed it if you're looking to get rid of one. Just saying. I'll go. I'll go real quick. I did the Funko Shop. I just wanted the 5 Anchorman pops, and when everything was said and done, I ended up with 4.
And that's not bad.
No, but I'm a completionist, and
it feels worse almost than
You know what? I take that back. One time, my uncle hit 5 out of 6 numbers on the state lottery, and we're like, "Woohoo! You won $1,500. That's awesome." He's like, "Do you realize I was just one number away from being a millionaire?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that kind of does suck. I'd rather not get any of that then."
See,
so
yeah.
Well, I had them all in there. I had a second chance and didn't get them with a second chance either. But I panicked. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "Oh shit!" Well, okay. My thinking was, "Okay, I gotta get these, and maybe I can get Pantana later." It was, of course, the Senate one. Never, it hasn't happened. I'm not holding my breath for it to happen. But if I would have known, I would have just said, "No, screw it. I'm not collecting any of them." Instead, I ended up with 4 of the 5. So,
well, let it be told, if you don't want the Brick Tamlin, send it my way.
I understand. I knew I could find a home for that.
Yeah, there was only 3 that I wanted. I struck out completely on the shop, and mind you, I was trying to juggle all the Nerds Unite stuff between all of the drops. So we completely dropped everything that we were doing, and we stopped the current program that was running 5 minutes prior to the drop because we all wanted to be ready. So I jump in and I realize, okay, they have everything. So that means I can try to help Cliffy with the Bakugo, the Sith Death Trooper. I could try to help Chris with this and that, and I could try for Brick Tamlin, Iron Bob, which I completely missed out on, and what was the other one? The Stan Lee. So I had all of them in my cart. I was done within 30 seconds. Hit the shop page, and I just see the shipping thing go. And so I'm thinking to myself, be patient, just wait it out. It should be okay. I see things going up on Twitter saying this and that. Don't refresh the page. Refresh the page.
Right.
So I wait.
Yeah.
And I sit in the queue for over an hour. And then I come to find out later, after Funko said, don't refresh anything, people went against that and they got through.
Right. So, yeah. Because Funko told us not to, and we should have known then to do it.
I was having faith in the system because
I was trying to, and I did.
I was just trying to be patient about it, but it backfired on me. The good news is, though, later that night, this was Friday, right? So, later that night, we were playing Halo with Sully. Shout out to Tamer, because he told me that the drop for Target had went up for the Stan Lee. So I was able to check out properly, and I have a red card, so I got it at a 5% discount, and I got free shipping. So, and I don't care about the box quality because it's coming out anyway. So, for me, it's a win.
Target's actually decent too, so I'm not. That's great. Yeah, fantastic. I'm sorry.
Nate, what did you grab?
You know what? I actually didn't get anything.
Wow. Really?
Not from shared retailers or nothing from
Funko? Nothing. I did not get anything yet. All the stuff that I wanted from the Funko shared retailers, I'll pick up eventually. I think there's a few things I wanted that were at Hot Topic, so I'm not stressed. Not like the Bakugo is the one that I want. I don't really have to rush to get because it's gonna be Hot Topic. So my experience with the Funko shop was frustrating because I knew it was gonna be a challenge because it's always a challenge with con drops, and I'm okay with that. Being a collector for a few years now, I've accepted that this is just one of the things that's gonna happen. So I got in, everything was super duper smooth going into the checkout, and when I started calculating shipping, I was like, okay, that's fine. I know things are gonna sell out. That's okay. That's just the nature of what happens. I get through a couple things that I wanted sold out, not a big deal. I go back to edit my cart. That's when the site took a shit and I lost everything in my cart. Yep. So an hour of waiting resulted in nothing, which really, that's what made me mad.
Right.
That it wasn't the fact that things sold out, because I get that. And if you don't understand it as a collector, like, I'm sorry. Like,
you're in the wrong place. Yeah.
You're in the wrong hobby.
Right.
I get that. I know I'm gonna miss out on things, but it's the very basic things for the website that should not have happened. Fuck me out of wanting to spend. So I didn't even want to go back and try again.
Right. I don't blame you.
Well, you know what? Purely bad taste in my mouth at that point.
I think, and you're not alone. We know that. I want to give a quick shout out to Julie Grimes, just because she was the first person I know, or at least heard, that got through the shop
in like 2 minutes.
Right. 2 minutes. But why I want to give her the shout out is she wasn't trying to buy Black Lightning so she could get rid of it. She wasn't trying to buy the rare one. She got the toucan and like something.
She got two toucans, I think.
Yeah,
and
I think that was it.
Yeah. I as a collector, I'm happy to see that go through, and I appreciate that she was getting her stuff and not trying to flip something, or I mean, maybe she could help somebody out, but maybe that would have slowed her down. But shout out to her for getting her stuff and being a class act about it.
Yeah.
But I did want to quickly give a shout out to Ferd, who I know he's listening. Big fan of the show. Big fan of Ferd. He reached out to me after he saw me talking about my Funko Shop woes, and he picked up 2 of the toucans, and he was going to give one to, he was helping out his cousin, but his cousin was actually able to get both himself. So Ferd offered me one of the toucans, and he's going to be sending me the astronaut toucan. So
right on.
Shout out to Ferd for helping me out on that. So at least I got, I got a little something out of it. Thanks to the community. But yeah, other things that I was thinking about getting, like the Ninja Turtles, were really cool, but working out, like we talked about previously, with working out the US conversion, working out the shipping rates. If I'm not at the con, I don't feel like paying that kind of money without physically being able to Tetris that into my suitcase, pack it up with all my dirty clothes, and happily fly in an airplane home with it. And that's kind of, that experience without having it there has made me okay with not spending a lot of money, or any money at all, really, on a lot of the exclusives this time around.
Yeah. The only other thing I really wanted this year was that Beast Kingdom Tony Stark from Infinity War. And at $80, it's pricey, right? As compared to like a $15 pop that you would buy at the con. And I would have been completely okay with it had it not been for the fact that it's $40 to ship it to Hawaii. It's half the cost. I'm like,
right, insane.
It's cool, there's interchangeable parts. I like the fact that you can swap out the head, and there's one that he looks angry, which is like super awesome in my opinion. But $40 to ship it, I'm like, no. I know I can probably get one later. I might have to pay a little bit more for it, but at least I can see it in person.
Well, you won't have to pay more for it because you wouldn't have to pay shipping, or at least not $40 for it.
I have some friends that may end up getting it because they collect things like Sideshow and Beast Kingdom, and if they want to get rid of it later, then so be it. But those are one of them. I want to make sure that it's in good quality before I buy it, and paying $40 to ship it, I've heard horror stories about Beast Kingdom from other collectors, so
just the way it's like packed and stuff.
Yeah, I just opted.
Well, and then treated, I bet.
Yeah, because I don't care about the box condition for that. It would have come out and gone on the shelf, but I don't want to have a situation where things are broken.
Right, you don't want. Yeah, exactly. The box, if the box is messed up, the chances are the collectible could be messed up. Yeah. So I totally understand that.
Yep.
Joey, what else do you want to get?
As far as Funko stuff.
Just overall
anything con related.
Yeah.
So the other stuff that I picked up, I did pick up that Q-Fig TMNT box.
Oh, the pizza box.
Nice.
With the grayscale ones, which I'm not. It is and it isn't a regret for me. Like I'm glad I got it, but at the same time, like I kept going back on the Q-Fig site afterwards, looking at some other stuff. And I'm just really digging the ones that have their own individual colors more than the grayscale ones. And I'm like, maybe I should have just held out and just bought those 4, because they're more unique to me. The 4, since they do have the color. I understand this is a limited edition, but so I guess it's kind of a regret and not a regret on that one. I tried to get the Abominable Chomp Amber pin yesterday from Plastic Empire. It was kind of like a random drop at a random time. I missed out on that, which like, to what Nate was saying about missing out on stuff, I'm cool with that because within 30 seconds, it told me it was sold out. And I'm like, okay, I missed out. I missed it. It did pop back up and I missed it again a second time. So
I think there was like insult. 1 or 2 in that second pop up.
Yeah, I don't think there was many in it. So, but I got over it because it was just a pin. It wasn't the actual Chomp. I don't know if you want to consider it part of it. It came out during the week, kind of, but I did get the reverse cotton candy Chomp the weekend before.
Oh, nice.
And I'm trying to think of what else I got. I felt like I ordered something from somebody else, but I can't think of what it is now that I got. I did not spend a lot.
Toddland?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. The Toddland stuff. I got the BurgerCon t-shirt, which I really loved. I thought
I like that too.
I thought the artwork on that one was great. And then I picked up me and McGuire the Burger of the Day pins, the SoCal distancing pins. We've started trying to get matching pins from each drop that he does. We did it with 2 of the other ones, so that's a tradition I'm hoping to continue where we each get the same pins.
Nice
for that. And I think that was it. I knew there was something else. Thank you for reminding me. It was the Toddland stuff.
Of course. I also got Toddland. I got the Burger of the Day shirt, and then I got the Ken pin just because it's so freaking random.
Yes, it was pretty random.
And it was, nobody's gonna know who that is unless you're a fan of the show, especially the beginning. So I had to get that. I also ordered a pair of socks, but those weren't Comic-Con exclusives. They were just included in my order. And then I did order the Tiny Ghost and the pins from Fugitive.
You were able to get through?
I was able to get through the group, which had an early drop, so I got it in that way.
Good.
So that was good. So, yeah, I actually was thinking I was going to pass it on to somebody who got it, or wanted it. But I think most people that wanted it got it. But more importantly, B, Ava saw a picture of it, and now she wants it. So I don't think I can get rid of it and feel good about it.
So did you get the bundle that also had the fig pins in it?
But the fig pins and the whale. There were only like maybe 20 of those because that whale was only limited 69. So there weren't many.
Gotcha. Bundles. I forgot the whale was in there too.
Yeah.
By the way,
yeah, I'm not sure how you say it, to be honest. But I will say we did talk to Fugitive, Geek Together. Damien and I talked to Fugitive and Nelson after that, and we talked a little bit about that drop. So if you want to hear more about that, I strongly recommend listening to that.
You mean the $10,000 bundle drop?
That's the one. let's just say, I'll just say this: there were multiple that fell for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's saw incredible
on Twitter. A bunch of people complained about it.
Yeah.
So
I would
go.
That's what happens when you run bots, guys.
Yep.
I understand there are some people that use it for their own personal use, and they're trying to get a leg up on the game per se. But if you're in the business here to resell, I know that us as collectors, we're all guilty of reselling an item if we've had it for say a few years. Well, maybe not all of us. Clint's making a face here, but I've picked up pieces at SDCC, and I've thought to myself, you know what, I'm okay with parting with this, and so I can get something else that I really want. And I've done that before. So
if it's to help fund your trip, I'm not even going to hate on you.
Well, we've talked about this too, about how
the definition of a flipper and all of that.
Right. Well, now, if you're getting an STC exclusive, you're going to the con. You got to pay for your time to stand in line. You got to pay for your airline. No, like that all needs to be factored in if they're getting you something at the con.
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that too, of course. So
going back to the bot thing, if you fell for it, be wiser about your decisions and how you want to approach things. That's all I'll say. But on another,
fuck you if you fell for it. I hope you fall for it again.
It means the same thing, guys. I'm just trying to be nice about it. Nate's telling it like it is.
That's why we like Nate.
Yeah, but speaking of telling it like it is, I know a lot of people took losses with Funko, and of course, me in specific, I got nothing from the drop. I'm okay with that. Here's where we need to really take a better look at things. Funko as a company is really not doing the strongest right now. We're all very aware of that. So the fact that they were able to go through an entire weekend's worth of product in, we'll say, 20 minutes, I see that as a huge win for the company that we all love. So we need to focus on that, because by them staying in business, that means we get to continue to buy products that we love. So
one other note with that too. Yeah. And I mean, the other part is COVID hurt them. Like, it hurt everybody. But it not only hurt the selection, because we've talked about it. The selection was like 80 pops last year, and this year was 40 or whatever.
Yeah, it was at least just half,
right?
If not worse.
That also affected the breadth or the quantity of that. So I bet you their runs for all of those were smaller. So I think we all kind of got used to, this one has 10,000, this one has 13,000. I'm sure that, and I don't know numbers, of course, but I'm sure they weren't nearly that high this time.
Yeah.
For anything. I mean, I'm not even sold they had 3,000 Black Lightnings, to be honest. I have no idea. But the point is, Ryan's right. Like, they still gave us a shot. I know it didn't go well. They know it didn't go well. We can hope for the future. It's just they've burned us a couple times, and I understand the pessimism that comes with it.
Yeah, but if you want to continue to be a pessimist about it, I would just be completely blunt with you and get the fuck out, because you're in it for the wrong reason. If all you're going to do is bitch and complain all over Twitter about I took a loss, either zip your lip, be a man about it, or just grow up or get out. Leave it to the people that really want to collect it, because
I'm selling my collection.
Yeah,
I'm done with this.
That's the thing that I love the most is like people that are on the thread that are like, hey, you know what? I'll be the first to admit I was upset and I complained on Twitter, but I'm not gonna fucking be like, I'm done collecting. Like, you know what? It's part of collecting. Shit happens, and I didn't like the way it went down, but it's serious when Brian gets up there and puts out a message and says that we need to do better. Exactly. Like, CEOs don't do that without knowing that, without being aware enough that they need us as the fans to believe in them, right?
Right. So and was it a PR thing? But still at the same time, did he have to do it as he did it before? No. So at least they're acknowledging it.
And it wasn't just he. It was like they said, the CEO. It wasn't some half-assed Twitter message that said, our mistake, sorry. Yeah. Instead, it wasn't actually, he sat down and made a video and said, we fucked up. Yeah. He did say, he did kind of pass the blame onto the third-party system, but he did say, we need to do better.
He could have just made a statement on Twitter versus just actually recording the whole video.
So, right. And him doing it himself. I mean, who knows? Yeah, I agree.
And I like that they tried to do as best as they could this past week for the fans, and recording the Fun TV thing for everybody to watch, and giving Sully back some stuff to give away during his 2 streams that he did. Is it the same as going to fun days and going to the booth and all that stuff? No, but it was a little something to just say, hey, we understand you're missing out on what's going on right now. Here's a little something just for y'all, just to, hold you over. And I like that because normally they don't tease what the fun days theme is going to be for the next year until maybe a month out. From the tickets being released, which are normally released in May. I could be a little off on that timeline. But, they said, hey, this was the theme that we were going to have for this year, and we're just rolling that over to next year. So it's going to be the Olympics. Here's the 4th thing. Like, I don't think they've ever announced before, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all been around longer, what the 4 different sections are going to be.
Never.
And they went ahead and announced that. And said, hey, here's what the teams are going to be. And I think that's a cool thing, because I think that makes it a lot easier for those people that fully get into the experience and want to, cosplay to go along with that, that gives them more chance to plan and to prepare and to brainstorm and to coordinate with other people and do stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool of them to come out and let us know what was going to happen.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
And the other
nobody had to do anything at the end of the day. I mean,
that's the whole thing. Yeah. You don't have to do diddly squat.
Yeah. And that includes us. That includes everyone in Third Unite Miss. Or Nerd Unite Con, excuse me. That includes everybody who did SDC at home. That includes Funko. That includes all the vendors. Like, nobody had to do anything. They could have just said, "This sucks. Sorry."
Let's be perfectly honest. Funko could have put out one tweet the week before with everything that was going to be on the Funko shop, not said another word, not done anything else, and all of that would have still sold out that night. None of that would have changed. True. So they didn't have to do any of that other stuff, but they did it just to do it, just to, give it for the fanatics to have something.
Yeah, they did it for the
week.
fans. And let's also look another positive thing here. We know for a fact that Fundies is still going to be a thing, because I know a lot of people have been like, through the grapevine, people saying this and that. Oh, there's new leadership in the senior management team. Is Fundies even still going to be a thing next year? So at least we can confidently say that they're still looking out for the fanatics, which is a huge thing. It's a huge sigh of relief from me. I can say that for myself in specific.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it, hoping I can get tickets to go back again next year. So
let's worry about that come May instead. let's focus on something else.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's getting close to that time, so
it's true.
It's game time. So, a little surprise for the fellas, because they didn't think coming into the recording today that we were going to have a game, but I just had an epiphany as I was doing it. As I was doing
giggity.
My mate. Shut up, boy. As I was making my dinner, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this. It just came to me. I was like, we need to have a Price is Right style game. And so this week's game is called The Price is Wrong, Dingus.
Oh, damn.
Oh, you thought I was going somewhere else with that.
I was excited for it. I'm still excited to plug in, but.
So here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to name a 2019 SDCC exclusive. This could be something from Fun Days, or this could be something from the booth / a shared retailer. You'll each type in what you believe to be the correct current value according to the Funko app. I'm not using PPG. I'm using the Funko app.
Should be
the closest without... Well, the big difference there is whether you're doing the con stickered or the shared stickered one. So that's why I decided to go with the app.
One price.
Yep. Right, exactly.
Okay.
So the closest without going over earns a point. We're going to play 18 rounds altogether. So whoever has the most points at the end wins. If we happen to have a tie at the end, I'll just throw out one last pop for you to guess the price of. So y'all going to type in the chat what y'all's guesses are, and y'all going to go in order just like they do on Price is Right. We will rotate around the order as far as who has to guess first, just to be fair. So everybody will go first 6 times. The first order will be Nate. Then after Nate does his, Ryan will put his answer in, and then Clint will put his answer in. So if y'all go ahead and type it up and be ready to hit enter as soon as you see the previous person. Okay?
I'm totally bidding $1. I can't wait. $1.
Questions. Okay. First one. The Jaws pop with the shark eating Quint. That's the 6th inch.
Okay.
Yep. Nate? Okay, Nate's guessing 60. Ryan's guessing 85. And Quint's going with $1. He held true to his word. Very good, Ryan. You are only $10 off. It's going for $95.
I was thinking about actually putting 95. Do we get anything on Price is Right, you get a bonus if you hit it right on the nose.
Oh, if you get right on, right?
That's a good point. You know what? If y'all like this game, and if the listeners like this game, and it's one that I do again for something else, then I'll definitely look into expanding it and maybe having some kind of showcase showdown just to make it funner.
But how about this? If you hit the price right on, you get 2 points.
How about you make the game next time, and then you can decide.
I was just going with Ryan's point because that's what it was. Okay.
It is a good point, and I'll think about incorporating it next time, not this time. Let's move on.
Okay.
All
right.
The next item is the Kato from Green Hornet, and the order will be Ryan, Clint, Nate this time.
He's too fast.
He is too fast. Okay.
Also, it's my turn. But yeah. Jesus.
So Clint, you're next.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking. I'm gonna be horrible this game, I think.
Okay. Nate. Okay. Nobody gets that point. According to the Funko app, it's only going for $10 right now.
Yay, Toy Tokyo.
Yeah. Right? I don't know if it's pulling a common version of him or what, but
the app is the app. Yeah, that's not your fault.
The app is the app. Okay. Here's my favorite one. And the first person going here is going to be Clint, then it's Nate, then it's Ryan. The quote unquote first to market Sith Trooper. Nate, you're next. Ryan, you're last. Ryan is closest with his guess of $550, although the correct current going price, according to the Funko app, is $1,530.
Holy shit!
It really shot up that much? Dang!
Wow!
Yes, it did. A lot of the Star Wars stuff shot up. Yeah,
wow. I knew that it was getting up there. I didn't think it was over 1,000 yet. That's crazy.
And yet, my 6-inch 2017 Snoke I bought on accident is only $13.
Yeah. Well, I had a chance at it. If I would have gotten in the Loungefly booth line to buy that and the backpack thing, but I didn't even think about it. And it's not a guarantee I'd have gotten it, but at least I could have said, oh, I made an effort to try to get it and missed out. But anyway, the next pop from SDCC 2019 is the Toucan. And that's going to be back to Nate going first.
Okay.
And this is the Toucan Pop, not the Pez that they had, just for clarification.
Right.
Okay, Nate's gone. So, Ryan, you're next. And Clint. Ryan's guess of $25 is the closest, because it is $34. You know what, Ryan? I think we finally found your game, brother.
Yeah,
wow. I think this is all you. It's all those days staying home sick and watching Price is Right with your grandma or whoever you had to stay home with when you were sick is paying off finally.
Clint used to watch this all the time after high school.
Yeah. Well, if we were doing like cans of corn and dressers, that'd be better. Actually, I'll get to stop guessing $1.
I think I'm good at this because I'm a data guy, so I'm thinking, in that respect.
Anyway,
all right.
Yeah.
Number 5 item, and the order now is going to be Ryan, Clint, Nate. This is my personal favorite from my collection. It's a Fun Days exclusive. It is not the 1 in 24 glow Freddy Funko as Frankenstein, but the 1 in, I don't know if the app says what it is, and I don't have it with me right now.
It's like 520, isn't it?
I think it's some random number like 520 or something like that. So that's the one I'm looking at. Ryan, you're first. Okay. Clint.
I'm gonna go.
Okay. So Ryan's guessed 350. Clint's guessed 220. Nate's guessed 450. The correct answer is 480. So
wow.
Nate got that one. He was
that one went up a lot.
Dadgum close about that one.
I need to go to the Funko app more.
It's actually been hovering around 400 for quite a while, trust me, because it was the top of my collection until that Mandalorian from NYCCC jumped up.
Yeah, that's ridiculous how much that one shot up. That and Captain Rex.
Well, the crazy part about the Mandalorian one, it did not sell out immediately. Now, it sold out like in 20 or 30 minutes, but you could still go back and get another one or still see it on there after you checked out. And so that part's crazy, but that's what happens.
Yep.
All righty. Moving on. We're going to go ahead for round 6 and grab one of the Conans that was given away during SDCC. And in honor of some of our big Pennywise friends like Julie and Manny and Prague, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Conan as Pennywise pop. And we are at round number 6, so that means Clint, Nate, Ryan is the order. Clint says 149. Nate's guess is $1. And then Ryan's guess is 165. That dollar strategy paid off there, brother. The correct answer is 90. Everybody else went over, so you are correct on that one. And you were gaining on our friend Ryan. Third of the way through, Ryan's got 3 points. Nate's got 2, and Clint has Ryan points right now. Ring the bell, sir.
Oh.
All right. Number 7 on our list is going to be one of the Funko Shop exclusive pops that was only available through the booth. It was a limited edition, if memory serves correctly. I think that's right. I could be wrong. I'm saying all that right now. And that is going to be, I just lost it. I'll find it again. The Winona Earp pop. And so that's going to be you first, Nate, with that one.
Ooh. That one's...
I have not heard a thing about that since San Diego.
Throw a random number out there for that one. I couldn't even.
Nate's guessing 75. Ryan's guessing 225. And Clint's coming in with 101. The current going rate for the Winona Earp pop is $140. So Clint is the winner on that one.
No Ryan points. I told him later.
Yeah. And at least you can't lose points on this one, so you don't have to worry about finishing with Ryan points.
That's right.
And it is an LE. Excellent. It's 1,000 pieces.
Right. I thought it was. Yeah.
That's why I thought it'd be higher. But then again, not to disparage the Earpers, I just know it's not as popular as a fan.
Well, I have the 1,500 only from E3 glow in the dark legendary chalice for Cuphead. It's only worth like $50. I'm like, what the hell?
It's supply and demand.
It's Cuphead.
Yeah.
That's why.
All right, round number 8, which we'll see Ryan, Clint, and then Nate go. We're going to pull up one of the fan favorites from that particular Comic-Con, and that's the Carl and Ellie Up 2-pack. Ryan's in with 145 for his guess. Clint's coming in with a guess of 169. And Nate's guess is 130. The correct going rate according to the Funko app for a Carl and Ellie Up 2-pack is $260. So that round is going to go to Clint as well. Yep.
I remember because I bought that and gave it to Gary. Well, Gary bought it and he got it through me, but still, I remember that. And I'm like, wow, all right.
Gee, I didn't realize that went up that much.
Ooh, who has all this money?
Yeah, right?
I don't know. So round number 9, we're going to see Clint, Nate, Ryan as our order for this one. The Boba Fett Green Chrome pop.
Oh, God. Okay.
Clint's guessing.
Clint's trying. Keeps getting all his freaking Discord notifications.
$79.99. Nate's going to come in at $25. And Ryan's guess is $55. And everybody went over except for Nate. The current going rate is $37.
I had no idea on that one.
Yep. So halfway through, Ryan, who had a commanding lead at first, is still at 3 points. Nate is now tied with him with 3 points. And Clint has 2 points.
It's a good game. Close.
This is a good game.
It is. Moving into round 10. This pop, which was extremely hard to get at the con from the Think Geek booth, is the Sticky Note Man from the Office Space movie. And this is round 10, so Nate, Ryan, Clint are our order.
So I'm first?
You're first.
Your name is Nate. Last time I checked.
I am.
Nate's going with $10. Ryan is coming in at $45. And Clint's coming in at $11. And despite how frustrating it was for me to try to obtain this pop at the actual con, it is only going for $20 right now. So Clint is correct.
Son of a bitch.
Or close, excuse me, not correct.
Sorry.
Damn, I'm doing really poor now.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, fella. All right, another fan favorite at the con.
I want Joey to say, this one's shitty.
Yeah, this one sucks ass. Nobody wanted
it. We'll get there, don't worry. Is the glow-in-the-dark Kang and Kodos pop, which had a very excellent mold on it. And